famous question that is, can you be addicted to weed? To weed. This is just a work with me session as I want to get monetized on YouTube, but I also want to engage. So I will answer a couple of addiction questions while I do a little bit of work with Claude. Start that poll. There you go. Now, is this working now or not? Hey, it is live. Alright, here we go. Alright, awesome. Awesome. One viewer, and it's me. That's brilliant news. Alright, let's also answer some addiction questions while I'm here. I'll answer one or two while I'm getting after it. So where should I answer them? Here? ChatGPT. Give me 15 addiction questions. Alright. We'll get stuck in. Good to see a like there, by the way. Whoever liked that. Appreciate it. Answer the poll, by the way. Why not answer the poll? Yes, you can. I appreciate it. Yes, you can be addicted to weed. Alright. Some people say no, so I'm waiting. Waiting to hear the debate. There's no. I'm waiting to hear the debate in the comment section. Here's one question. Well, I'll answer why we're waiting here. Right, this is a Nidge. Great to see you. I'm an addiction therapist. I answer questions on live stream. Today I'm just working as I'm taking action. So the first question I have here from ChatGPT, and it's great to see all of you. I'm a best-selling author, an ex-addict, so welcome. What's the most common types of addictions you treat? Interesting that it's asking you. All around cocaine. Literally, cocaine is the only addiction that I help clients with. But that blends into other addictions like alcohol, other addictions like porn, and other addictions like gambling, and other addictions like weed, which is all part of that. And that's the poll. Answer the poll. God is life. Hello to you too. Appreciate you for jumping in. Appreciate all of you for jumping in here. I'm just trying to do a bit of work, but I'm happily engaged with the chat. It's a blessing. I want to do more of these things. All right. If you got anything you're wondering about addiction, drop it in the comments. I'll happily answer your questions on addiction. I'll even try to help you. $11 votes, 64% say yes, you can be addicted to it. Interesting. It's going up, 67%. No is on its way back. No is on the comeback. By the way, I have an app. You can download the app. It's called Bulletproof Recovery. That's terrible that a flashlight is actually destroying it. But it's called Bulletproof Recovery. If you're in addiction, it's a sober tracker. It will track how much days you're sober. Noah's on a comeback right here. Noah's fighting his way back. Oh, you can't be addicted. Amazing. Spelled a little bit incorrectly. Hello to you too. I appreciate you. Hope you're doing very well. Here's another question on addiction, by the way. Vigilant, you do believe you can be addicted. So, if I was to play devil's advocate, people would say there's no addictive chemical in. Well, click on my page. Click on my page. People would say that there's no addictive chemical in weed, and I would play. If I was playing devil's advocate, I agree with them. So why do you say that you can be addicted? What's your proof for it? Let me know, Vigilant. Let me know. Have you personally experienced being addicted to weed? Or do you know someone? It's great. Really great. Alright. Here's another question that I'll answer on addiction, by the way. The question is, ChatGPT gives to me. What treatment approaches do you find most effective in addiction recovery? Yes, Vigilant, that's it, yeah. Jeff, I agree. A lot of people don't agree. 40% of people don't agree. People say there's no addictive chemical. People say it's just grows in the ground. There's nothing to it. You know, I mean, it's not like cocaine where it's a stimulant and it adds all of this massive surge of dopamine. And what are you addicted to? Well, this is their arguments around you can't be addicted to it. They are coping. I believe they're coping 100%. 100%. To answer this question, by the way, while the people commenting there, what treatment approach is the most effective for addiction recovery? I think smart recovery is fantastic. I think CBT is great, and I don't like saying it, but I think AA, NA, CA, all of those types of things are great as well. What's not so good? Obviously, grief counselling. That would be useless. Why would that be any? That'd be absolutely useless. They probably are, Vigilant. They probably are. Right now, just completely smoking there, watching this video, addicted to weed. Absolutely. Well said, Vigilant. Well said. And that's how I work with clients. I work with two elements. One of them being the root cause. Cause is plural. And the other one being the associations around the drug. So let's say they're addicted to cocaine. They think it's great, they think it's hot, happy, they think they get status, they get power, they get motivation, they get productivity from it, right? So that's their beliefs around coke. If it's around weed, relaxing, it's calm, it helps them sleep, etc., etc. So work on their association on the substance, and then also their root causes, which is more important. So well said, all of that. Like depression causes people to start. So treating that can help it, in my opinion. Alcohol or weed more dangerous? Now that is a poll. I'll write that down. That is a fantastic poll. I think the answer is alcohol. I think the answer is alcohol. I like that poll though. What am I doing right now? I'm answering your questions, which I'm very grateful for. But I'm actively working on Claude to improve my business that I have here with what you saw, and yeah, I'm basically just growing my business. So work with me, little section, while I can answer some questions, like I just did. How do you help? Here's question number 7. How do you help clients prevent relapse? So how do you help clients prevent relapse? One thing you can do is not go to the same group of friends. Another thing you can do is don't go out to that festival. Another thing you can do is don't go on that last holiday. Another thing you can do is don't go to that wedding. Another thing you can do is block all those numbers. Another thing you can do is change your mindset. Another thing you can do is go to therapy. All of those things. Oh, this is my full time. Yeah, I help clients 1-to-1 every day, Monday to Friday, and particularly with cocaine addiction. So that's what I do all day, every day. To the subscribe button, by the way. There's me on YouTube, on the big screen. literally. Vigilant, where are you from? I'll answer your question. Does meditation help? But what's your thoughts on meditation before I tell you anything about meditation? I like that. I like that thought. I like that topic. So well done for bringing that up. And where are you from, Vigilant? I appreciate it. Here's a question. Number 10. What advice would you give to someone who thinks they have addiction but they're afraid to seek help? Wells. Nice. What advice would you give to someone who thinks they have an addiction but is afraid to seek help? Every CEO has help. Every mother has help. Every football team has help. Every single person in the world has help. It's... Vigilant, you don't know where I'm from. I mean, that's almost offensive that you think that I haven't heard of Wales. So all of those people need help. Why wouldn't you need help, or me, or an addict? Of course you need help. Getting help is great. Getting help is an obvious, rational idea. So definitely do get help. That's what I would give them. That's the advice I would give to them. Every single person, A-list celebrities, footballers, sports stars, sports teams, businesses, parents, anything. We all need help. So why wouldn't you get help in this way? I feel they just need to man up. Okay, Martin. That's a real sentence that gets people triggered. All right, what does it say? I feel they just need to man up and get treatment. Oh yeah, well that's for that voice question. I should have read the second part of that. I thought you just ended at that. They just need to man up. They man up and get treatment because it keeps getting worse each day untreated. Absolutely. Vigilant, tell me what you thought about the meditation. You didn't mention it. You didn't type that one. But absolutely, they man up and get help is fantastic. That's where they should man up. Absolutely. Right, where is Cloud working on the screen? I'm not sure in what context you mean by that, but I appreciate it. I'll just take it as a compliment for any of it. Zen is definitely quite helpful. I'll just tell you about my meditation. Meditation changed my life on recovery. I was an addict to cocaine, ecstasy, ketamine. Well, not an addict to ecstasy, but ketamine, alcohol, porn, gambling, all of those things. Absolutely. All right, here we go. Igna, nice to meet you. Had to leave my partner because of weed. It's awful. That's sad. It's very sad. Appreciate you for commenting. It's awful. He tried not to smoke, but he could only last a few days and became unbearable with mood, etc. And I imagine when you say etc, you mean motivation, you mean not taking care of chores, I mean like ambition and desire as well, I imagine you mean as well, Igna, when you say that. It's very sad that you had to leave your partner. He says he doesn't need help because he's not an addict. That is hilarious. Mindfulness is treating your anxiety. That's amazing news. It's amazing news. Yeah, so when it comes to meditation, that changed my life on recovery. That was one massively healthy thing to do. Well, staying consistent is actually an interesting topic of conversation for anything. I mean, if you look at someone starting a diet, the diet lasts a couple of weeks. If I said to you, Vigilant, you have to go walk 10,000 steps a day every day, right? Eventually, at some point, could be a month, could be 2 months, you're probably going to say, this is a waste of time. You're probably going to say it's too far. You're probably going to say I've got other things to do. So don't look at them as you need to stay consistent for the rest of your life. Set a goal. The goal would be I'm going to do meditation for 30 days, every day for 30 days. And then after that, continue if you want to continue. Set a new goal if you want to set a new goal. But actually, setting a target, achieving the target is going to make you feel good. And it's not a dedication like I need to do it every day. You know, when people say I need to do a goal every day, we've already got a problem because you're not going to do it in 3 years. It's not going to happen. Even if it's like a healthy thing. Start with something like that, like I mentioned. Make a small goal. 30 days, 14 days, 7 days, do it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but don't say, "Oh, I'm going to do it every day for the rest of the year." It's not going to work. You know what I mean? It's just not going to work. Fads and other things happen. You know what I mean? Journaling, you got to do journaling, you got to do meditation, you got to do reading, you got to do writing, you got to do etc. etc. There's so much stuff you can do. That's unbelievable. You know what I mean? Because I just got that yesterday when I was in Halfords. I was wearing a Brazil jersey, and they said, "Yeah." I just looked up for a second, and you look like Kevin De Bruyne. I was like, "I've done that many times, in fact, just so you know." I'll take it as a compliment. Yeah, I mean, I'll take it as a compliment. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. But I appreciate you. Depends what room I'm in. Depends what room I'm in. I suppose Igna didn't comment again. That was a good comment about our partner, but it's all good. If I send Kevin De Bruyne, do you think I'll get more ladies? How much votes have we out there? 28. Are you kidding me? That's awesome. 61% say yes. 39% say no. Unbelievable. I gotta go in about 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and something like that. I mean, can I just screenshot what that? Is anyone else looking at that? 6 of you, just look at that, what you just said there. Or that was. Je ne sais quoi. That was great. Just so the people on the rewatch, if they will rewatch it. What a fantastic send that is. What do you said attention to detail twice, so what do you mean by that? But I appreciate the rest of it as well, Vigilant. It's very nice, honestly. It is very nice. That is such a sad real sentence, Igna. That is such a sad real sentence. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it, and it's very real. It's very real. Brilliant. Brilliant, folks. You're my new favourite commenter. Sorry, Igna. I know you might have that, might be a little bit now. But yeah, Igna said you can't bring a horse to water. You can bring a horse to water. You can't make him drink it. That's just the old adage, and it's very true. It's actually really, 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 really sad. Really sad, and I know that from my partner that I've had. Like, they want it, but they don't want it bad enough, and they just keep making the same mistakes. It's devastating. Devastating. What an amazing person, but just doesn't push. Doesn't push. Sad. I'm dating. Can I say I'm dating? I mean, that's a very interesting. That's completely off topic, by the way. All right, but I'll answer. I'll answer because you've been very good. All right. I'm dating. All right, let's do another question. Whoa, I appreciate it. All right. Number 13. How has addiction treatment changed or improved in recent years? This is an interesting question. I mean, if you look back 60 years ago, 1960s, they are literally giving people, I don't even know the words to say them, but they're creating havoc in people's mind by knocking chisels into them. They're literally giving these medications that's castrating them. They're giving these devastating chemicals they're not really working, right? And then you have a blow up of addiction. Then you have this blow up of medication that they just start trying out, and the medication is all across the board, random medication. And then they have this element of where they get in these facilities. It's great, facilities, rehabs. AA has been a long time, long time. 1930s, I think that the Alcohol Anonymous book was written in, so that's a long time. How has it changed in recent times? If you look at recent, really recent, not 60 years ago, the data we're collecting in terms of alcohol is the worst substance of all when it comes to mushrooms, LSD, cocaine, heroin, etc. Alcohol is the worst substance for damage to other people and ourselves. The data that we have nowadays for helping people with addiction is absolutely brilliant. So how has it changed in recent years? Better data means better treatments. Better treatments means better results. But unfortunately, the data is still terrible in terms of where a lot of people are still relapsing. It's devastating. I appreciate you, Vigilant. Who you have us? Ouch. 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 Do I have a soul? I don't know why you're asking that. It's not from a meme 2007, 2009. It's just I don't know why you do such a thing. You know, you've gone up from up there down to down there. By the way, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, let's get stuck in. What's another question I can answer? How important is family during the recovery process? Well, it's actually a good question because on one side of the coin, I can say that it's not important because some people actually don't have a family, so it's not important. But having some sort of connections and socializing and elements of friends and environment that's healthy is massively important. So the family element might not be most important, but I can tell you on the other side of the coin, it is massively important. Where if you do have a family and your family is supportive, they're not judging you, they're not attacking you, they're not shaming you, they're not saying why you do this, why you do it, and they're not. That it's only worse if they're attacking you. It's only worse if there's more shame on you, more guilt on you. So your family support is, if you've got a family that's supportive in your recovery journey, it helps. You are on the same page. You want to recover for them. If they're against you, you're just saying "f off." Why don't they go use? So there's a question that, you know, there's an answer. All right. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you. Inge, you're still here. I appreciate it. It is pretty much madness. Igne, the alcohol is if you were to release alcohol today, they say the toxicology is basically how they track the amount of like a person is a healthy limit. It's one glass of red wine almost a year. I think it's a year. It's one glass of red wine a year is a healthy limit of alcohol for someone. So that just shows that actually in if it was released today, it would not be released. That's the truth. If it was released today, it would not be released. And being legalized, this is, it's actually a really interesting question, and I would love to speak to you about it a lot because if you look, there might be benefits for some people. I think a lot of people are abusing it, which I don't think there's any benefits in abusing it. There might be some benefits. It's such an interesting one because I don't smoke weed. I used to smoke weed every day. I used to be like Stephen Hawkins with the brain power, and I think it's very destructive if you use it and abuse it. I think it's going that way where it's going to be legalized. I don't want it legalized. It's so interesting because my debate with it is poison, absolutely. It's such an interesting conversation, the weed one for me. Like, if you talk to me about heroin, never. Talk about cocaine, never. You talk about alcohol, I'm like, it's already legal. Talk about weed, I'm sitting in a bubble where I'm like, is 1, 2, 3 joints over a whole year, is that a bad thing? And I can easily say yes, because you're still inhaling something into your lungs, which is just a no-no, bad for you, regardless of what it is. But if you're gonna have 3 joints over a year, I'm also like, okay, that's fine. If you're gonna have 3 joints a day, it's no. So there's somewhere in the balance where it's like, it's not the worst thing in the world, it's not the best thing in the world. Vaping, get it out of here. Such an interesting area for my work. I don't know. I'm not fully solid on them. I appreciate you for bringing it up. Maybe I should be a bit more solid on them. But it's great to talk them out like this so I can be a bit more fluid or solid on them. It's confusing. It's confusing, the weed element from. What's your thoughts on it, Ignite? I know you said it's madness, but do you think it's just a no across the board for everyone, or what's your opinion on it? Another question comes in here of how do you tailor treatment plans to meet needs of different clients? Well, that's actually very true. Like if you go to a rehab facility, they have a weekly structure. So if you like week 7 you're doing visualization, and week 6 you're doing like spirituality, and that's great. But imagine someone week 1 they're not ready, whatever ready means for visualization. Like they don't understand it. They're not connected. Or they go do meditation and they just like hate meditation. So it's like you do actually have to tailor a little bit of a plan. If someone's ready to take action compared to someone's ready to just work through the process or through their trauma. So how do you tailor? You do got to tailor a plan. Ask them questions, understand their situation, and then you can tailor a plan a little bit better. So I hope I do hear your opinion, Igna. By the way, before I go, which is going to be in around 5 minutes, 22 past. I do hope to hear your opinion on the weed element of what is the take. What is your take on it? I mean, it actually is genuinely an interesting conversation for me. Four minutes, Igna. I'd love to hear that if you're there, but if you're not there, it's not. I appreciate you anyways for jumping. So, welcome, by the way, the Wallman. This girl thinks that weed shouldn't be legalized everywhere, and I can almost agree. Why do you think it should be legalized everywhere? And do you think you can get addicted to it, by the way? Did you answer that part? I appreciate you for coming in. I got 2 minutes and then I gotta jump off here, but I appreciate you all for jumping in. A lot of questions, a lot of conversations. It's been good. Because it would get people off harder drugs as well. I do agree with that. It would get people off harder drugs, honestly. But when someone breaks the law to buy weed, they are more likely to break the law to buy other drugs. That's why it's a gateway drug. I do think it will help take them off harder drugs. I'm trying to understand the second half of your paragraph, as well as when someone breaks the law to buy weed, they are more likely to break the law by buying other drugs. So you're saying that people who buy weed are more likely to buy harder drugs, but if you make all the weed illegal, it would then make. Would it still not be a gateway drug then? Alright, I got 1 minute, but I appreciate you for jumping in, the wall man as well. And Ignat, nice to meet you as well. It's been good. It's been good. If someone has to break the law in their state to buy weed, then they have to cross a barrier legally. Then they have crossed the barrier legally, yeah. And they would be more likely to break the barrier in future to buy other drugs. I agree with that, absolutely. It's what happened to me, I believe, yeah. Now, I fully agree with that. They think they buy weed, they're a little bit shady. You buy weed, it becomes more acceptable on the next thing. I can fully buy into that idea. Alright, like I mentioned, I gotta go. I appreciate you. Have a great time wherever you are in the world. I'll be streaming again. I look forward to seeing the next one, alright? So, peace out. Thanks, guys. Honestly.